Hello everybody, in this short version of a Jets off-season video, we are just going to go over everyone that was drafted this off-season. Mike McGlinchey, the #1 overall pick to the Chicago Bears, an 80 overall. They also get Hayden Hurst out of South Carolina in the second round. Then they get Elijah Holder of Stanford in the 4th round, as well as Porter Gustin of USC at left end. At defensive tackle, they take another guy with the last name Hurst, Maurice Hurst of Michigan. Then they get a nice steal here in Damon Webb, the strong safety out of Ohio State. Tank Jacobs from BYU goes in the 6th round. Jesse Anibanim of Maryland goes to the Bears as well in the 7th round, as well as Wilson Bell of Auburn and DeJuan Spencer of Virginia. Moving on, we'll take a look at who the Bengals took. Trey Adams of the Washington Huskies. These are all real-life prospects, yes, so if you're a little confused, they are real prospects. Simi Cobbs Jr. goes to the Bengals out of Indiana. Austin Bryant of Clemson. Tyler Kelly of Idaho State. Mason Cole of Michigan. Here's Jordan Scarlett of Florida going there, as well as Blaise Brown from Troy. There's a few guys in here that are not real prospects. If you can spot them, good on you, but they're all in the later rounds. Connor Williams of Texas going to the Bills. Alec Eberle of Florida State to the Bills as well, as Deion Kane, the wide receiver out of Clemson. Quentin Meeks, the corner for Stanford, going to the Bills, as well as Ian Thomas, the tight end of Indiana, and Micah Kiser, the middle linebacker of Virginia. Okay, for the Denver Broncos, Armani Watts, safety out of Texas A&M. Ade Aruna of Tulane. Ronald Jones II of USC. Kareem Orr of Chattanooga. And Florenzo Fatukasi of UConn. Moving on to the Browns, they get Minka Fitzpatrick of Alabama. They get Denzel Ward of Ohio State. They get Orlando Brown of Oklahoma. They get Sean Dion Hamilton of Alabama. They get Ogbanya Okoronkwo of Oklahoma. They get Troy Fumagalli of Wisconsin. And they get Derek Nottie of Florida State, as well as Ross Pierschbacher from Alabama. The Buccaneers end up with James Hearns, linebacker, Louisville. And Dante Pettis, wide receiver at Washington, cousin of Austin Pettis. Dominic Sanders of Georgia, Ethan Wolf of Tennessee, Jake Weinke of South Dakota State, and Reginald McKenzie Jr. of Tennessee. The Cardinals get Tavares McFadden at corner from Florida State. They also get Sam Hubbard of Ohio State, and they get Dre Greenlaw of Arkansas, as well as Jester Weh of Pittsburgh, and Ralph Webb of Vanderbilt. The Chargers get Van Smith of Clemson. They get Tyrell Crosby of Oregon. They get Tony Brown, the corner from Alabama. They get Jack Sitchie of Wisconsin. They get Sony Mickle of Georgia. Brandon Facyson of Virginia Tech. And Brendan Mahone of Penn State. Saquon Barkley, whichever way you want to say it, is going to the Chiefs. And look at that. Look at this guy. He is amazing. Andrew Brown of Virginia also going to the Chiefs, as well as Chris Worley of Ohio State. And Jeb Blazevich of Georgia, as well as Brandon Powell. Arden Key will be joining the Indianapolis Colts, along with Bo Scarborough of Alabama. Danny Johnson of Southern. Casey McDermott of Miami. Bo Benschowel of Wisconsin. The Cowboys have gotten a Lorenzo Carter of Georgia, Darius Guice of LSU, Cam Serigny of Wake Forest, Jerron Christian of Louisville, and Baker Mayfield in the 6th round of Oklahoma going to the Cowboys, as well as Brian Allen, center of Michigan State. The Dolphins get Iman Marshall of USC in the 1st round, as well as Austin Golson in the 2nd round out of Auburn. They also get Davin Bellamy of Georgia, Durham Smythe of Notre Dame, Akeem Coleman of Idaho, Larry Allen Jr. of Harvard, that's right, son of Hall of Famer Larry Allen of the Cowboys, Gregory Mabane of Duke, and Dimitri Flowers of Oklahoma. Calvin Ridley goes to the Eagles in the 1st round of Alabama, DeAndre Goolsby out of Florida, Sion Tuhima, I guess that's how you say it, out of Southeast Louisiana, Godwin Igwebuike of Northwestern, Tyquan Lewis of Ohio State, Damian Harris of Alabama, Dalton Schultz of Stanford, and Will Hoffman of Maryland. I don't know if that's real or not. Malik Jefferson out of Texas goes to the Falcons, as well as Josh Sweat of Florida State, Sky Moore of South Carolina, Anthony Averett of Alabama, Tavon Coney of Notre Dame, Drew Bailey of Louisville, Jalen Samuels of NC State, Vianney Talamaivo of USC, and Quentin Flowers of USF. Then the 49ers, with the 2nd overall pick, they draft Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen out of UCLA, as well as Rashaan Evans from Alabama, Jair Alexander of Louisville, Royce Freeman of Oregon, Antonio Callaway of Florida, Ben Hull of Wake Forest, Michael Gallup of Colorado State, Gregory Lowe of Washington, and Nick Wilson, the halfback out of Arizona. The Giants end up with Matthew Thomas out of Florida State, as well as Jerome Baker of Ohio State, Jordan Thomas of Oklahoma, Chad Thomas of Miami. A lot of Thomases going to the Giants. DJ Chark of LSU, Matt Elam of Kentucky, and Richie James, Mid-Tennessee State. The Jaguars get Quentin Nelson of Notre Dame at right guard. They get Donnie Miles, a free safety of North Carolina, Mitch Hyatt out of Clemson at right tackle, Josie Jewell out of Iowa, middle linebacker, Trey Williams out of Auburn, Dietrich Nichols of USF, Austin Stevens of Utah State, and Austin Prohl from UNC, son of Ricky Prohl. The Jets, our team, and I will look at each one of the guys' cards. They do get Sam Darnold, the rookie out of USC now. Sam Darnold, highly touted quarterback. He will be going to the Jets' 2nd quarterback taken. Kevin Tolliver, the 2nd out of LSU, will be the corner going to the New York Jets. He's looking pretty good as well. Jets made a lot of trades this offseason for extra picks. Martinez Rankin, the left tackle out of Mississippi State, he will be going to the Jets. Mark Andrews, the tight end of Oklahoma, will be joining the Jets. Deebo Samuel, rookie out of South Carolina, will be joining the Jets as well as Frank Ragnow of Arkansas. He will be the starting center probably for the New York Jets. Billy Price joining the Jets as well at left guard, Ohio State. Nick Linder at center as well from the Miami Hurricanes. Myles Gaskin joining the New York Jets out of Washington. Lowell Latulele of Utah is joining the Jets at defensive tackle. Justin Jackson, also at running back from Northwestern. Drew Tranquil at strong safety from Notre Dame. Alan Lazard of Iowa State joining the Jets. Azim Victor of the Washington Huskies joining the New York Jets. and Sam Mustipher out of Notre Dame. So very nice draft from the New York Jets. A couple busts in there, a couple guys that should be contributors, a couple guys that should start for this Jets team. Moving on, the Detroit Lions get Christian Kirk from Texas A&M. Jamar Summers of UConn. Was hard to play against him in the Villanova series. Carlton Davis of Auburn. Casey Tucker of Stanford. Coleman Shelton of Washington. Anthony Miller of Memphis. The Packers get Bradley Bozeman of Alabama. They get Mike McCray of Michigan. They get Dontavius Russell of Auburn. They get Jawan Jennings of Tennessee. They get Luke Falk of Washington State. They get Braden Smith of Auburn. They get Travis Seefeld of Utah State. And they get Trayvon McMillan of Virginia Tech. The Panthers get Harold Landry of Boston College. They get Duke Ejiofor of Wake Forest. They get Mike Gesicki of Penn State. They get Javon Roland Jones of Arkansas State. And Cody O'Connell of Washington State. And Ranthony Texada of TCU. The Patriots get Tigray Scales of Indiana. Jason Kabinda of Penn State. Marvin Saunders of Florida State, and Mason Rudolph in the 6th round could have their next Tom Brady on their hands. The Raiders get Martez Ivy of Florida. They get Nick Chubb of Georgia. They get Vita Vea of Washington. They get Duke Dawson of Florida. Toby Weathersby of LSU. Tony Adams of NC State. Lester Cotton of Alabama. Josh Allen going to the Rams. Guess they don't like Jared Goff. They're looking for Josh Allen out there. As well as Tremaine Edmonds from Virginia Tech. Brock Rubel of Florida State. Cameron Petway of Auburn. Andre Kasher of San Jose State. Grant Newsome of Michigan. And Brandon Faneka of Stanford. Ravens get Deron Payne of Alabama. They also get Jamarco Jones of Ohio State, Darren Carrington of Utah, Kendrick Norton of Miami, Jamon Moore of Missouri, Donovan Wilson of Texas A&M, and Nick Washington of Florida. This is a really good draft for the Baltimore Ravens. The Redskins get Dorrance Armstrong Jr. at right end out of Kansas. They get Deontay Burnett of wide receiver out of USC. They get Adonis Alexander of Virginia Tech. They get Ike Boatger of Iowa. They get Scott Quessenberry of UCLA. They get Malcolm Pritchett of Florida, and they get Quinn Blanding of Virginia. The Saints get Roquan Smith out of Georgia. They get C.J. Conrad out of Kentucky. They get Timon Paris out of Stony Brook, Jerry Tillery out of Notre Dame, and Trey Marshall of Florida State. Seahawks get Will Hernandez, right guard out of UTEP. They get Paris Campbell of Ohio State. They get Bentley Spain of North Carolina. They get Jacob Pugh out of Florida State. They get Chad Whitener out of Oklahoma State. And they get Tyrone Crowder from Clemson. Marcus Allen, free safety out of Penn State, going to the Steelers, as well as Bradley Chubb from NC State. Christian Miller of Alabama. And Harmon Kendall of Cincinnati. Texans get David Bright of Stanford. Will Clapp of LSU. Cedric Wilson of Boise State. And Deshaun Hand of Alabama. Titans get Cortland Sutton out of SMU. They get Marquise Haynes out of Ole Miss. They get Marcus Baugh out of Ohio State. They get Akram Wadley out of Iowa. Jarrett Johnson out of Texas A&M. L.J. Scott out of Michigan State. And Jalen Smith out of Louisville. Equanimus St. Brown out of Notre Dame is going to go to the Vikings. Marcel Frazier out of Missouri. Dalen Mack out of Texas A&M, Stephen Parker out of Oklahoma, and I'm pretty sure this guy's not real, Elgin Duckworth out of UL Lafayette. Yeah, he's definitely not real. So they will all go to the Vikings. So there you have it, your 2018 NFL entry draft. What do you guys think of our draft picks with the New York Jets? I will go over those one more time. I will throw them here at the end of this video. There you go. You can take a look. Sam Darnold, Kevin Tolliver II, Martinez Rankin, Mark Andrews, Debo Samuel, Frank Ragnow, Billy Price, Nick Linder, Myles Gaskin, Lowell Latulele, Justin Jackson, Drew Tranquil, Alan Lazard, Azim Victor, and Sam Mustipher. We will see who will be starting and what the starting lineup will look like in the preseason video, which will be out in a few days, I guess. And then we will see Season 2, Game number 1. And I'm excited to see who will play and how, I guess, Sam Darnold would probably be expected to start over Bryce Petty, but we will see how it goes in preseason and what the two quarterbacks are looking like. Thank you guys for watching this video. Go ahead and slap a like for me if you did enjoy. It took a lot of work to put all of these real prospects together. I am going to make the video in which I did that was a stream, an 8-hour stream. I'm going to make it unprivate, unlisted, so it will become public. That way you guys can see that there was actually a lot of work involved in this, and actually I did not change any of these ratings for any of these draft picks, and you can see that it will be proven there. If you don't believe me, at least I know that there was at least 10 to 12 people that saw everything, and they can believe me. So there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Once again, I will see you guys on the very next video.